Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in this video we'll be discussing about a concept which is called as MBO, which stands for Management by Objectives. So we'll first start with the concept of MBO and then we'll move forward to the features, assumptions and the key takeaways which defines or summarizes the concept of MBO. So let's start with concept of MBO. So the main principle behind MBO is that everybody in the organization, be it people in the lower level, middle level or the upper level, which is also known as the top level management, knows the aims and objectives of the organization and they have a clear understanding of the aims and objectives of the organization as well as their own roles and responsibilities which they will contribute to achieve the aim and objectives of the organization. Now we'll discuss further and we'll understand more about MBO by discussing its features. So the first feature of MBO is joint goal setting. Now what does joint goal setting means? It means that not only the top level management, which are the superiors, will decide upon the aims and objectives of the organization, but also they'll include the lower and the middle level management in the goal setting thing, which is making the objectives and the aim of the organization. So from the first feature only, we also come to know the second feature of MBO, which is superior subordinate participation. Now, in this concept, as we discussed, that there is joint goal settings, which means both superiors and the subordinates are participating together to form aims and objectives and goals for the organization. The third feature of MBO is clarity of goals. So as we discussed in the first and second feature, now the goals have already been set. The aims and objectives have already been defined. Now the superiors have told the subordinates that what is expected of them or what are their roles and responsibilities or how they can contribute to achieve an organization, their goals and aims and objectives. Superior also know their jobs, that what they are supposed to do, and also they make very clear goals and define the roles and responsibilities of their subordinates so that subordinates also know that what they are supposed to do and what is expected of them to achieve the goals and aims of the organization as a whole. The next feature of MBO is better communication and coordination. Now, if superior and subordinate both are participating in goal and aims and objectives making, then obviously there is a better communication because they all are communicating amongst themselves and then defining each role and responsibility to achieve the ultimate goal of the company or the ultimate aim of the company. So there is better communication among them. Also, with better communication comes better coordination because if people are clear with their goals, they can easily coordinate among themselves, among their colleagues, their teammates, because they know what is expected of them or what roles and responsibilities they have to perform. The next feature of MBO is that they have full support from their superiors. Who have full support from the superiors? The subordinates have full support from their superiors. The superiors help subordinate to clarify their roles and responsibilities, which in return motivates a person or the subordinate to perform much better because they know that their superior is always ready to support them. And the last feature of MBO is role clarity. So as we have discussed so many features, so till now you must be understanding this feature, which is role clarity, which is now easily understandable, but still because there was goal setting, joint goal setting, people which is subordinate and superior which were involved in joint goal setting, because there were equal participation from superiors and subordinates, so clear roles and responsibilities were laid down. So everyone in the organization have a clarity of their goals that what they are supposed to do and what they have to perform in order to achieve the aims and goals of the organization. Now, these were the features of MBO. Now we'll move forward to the assumptions of MBO. So the first assumption of MBO is existence of mutual understanding between superiors and subordinates. So what does this assumption mean? So before laying down this concept, we have to assume few things, then only this concept of MBO will be applicable or can be put into picture, because not every time there would be joint goal settings, or not every time when an organization is setting their goals and objectives they involve the superiors and subordinates both. So we have to assume some things to bring MBO into picture, or this concept into picture. So the first assumption is that we'll assume that there is already a mutual understanding which is existing between the superiors and the subordinates. The second assumption is employees can perform better when they are clear with what they have to perform, which is their roles and responsibilities. So this is an assumption which is very understandable, that every person is much more motivated and they do their work with more zeal and with more quality when they know exactly what they have to do, when there is no confusion of their roles and responsibilities and there is clarity of goals. So the second assumption, that is why, is there to hold MBO into picture. Now we'll discuss the third and the last assumption of MBO, that employees are interested in the formation of plans. They are interested to know that what will be the result of their performance and how they will be rewarded if they perform exceptionally well or up to the mark as it was expected by them. So this assumption is there into picture because, as I already discussed, not every organization follow the concept of MBO. If we have to follow this concept of MBO, we have to bring into picture that both superior and subordinate are there when there is goal setting, or the goals are set for the organization, which are their main aims and objectives. So we have in this video discussed what is MBO by explaining or understanding the concept. Then we discuss some features and the assumptions which we should hold or assume before bringing MBO into picture. Now, before ending this video, we'll summarize the concept of MBO by giving some key pointers or the key words for this whole concept of MBO. So the first keyword or the key pointer for this concept is, first thing, it is a concept of planning. Although we haven't discussed this in our video, but those who are aware of this topic MBO, they know that this comes into planning. And secondly, because we are discussing or forming the aims, plans, goals, objectives of the organization, so we are in the initial stage, which is the planning stage. So the first keyword or the key takeaway from this concept of MBO is that it is a concept of planning. It is a participative style of management. The whole video we have been discussing that both superior and subordinate participate in the goal setting and everything. So this is a participative style of management. The third, that it is a very systematic and an organized approach, because all the people from the organization are involved in the goal setting, which is a major thing for any organization. If we have to involve everyone, then you have to be very systematic in your approach. So it is a very systematic and an organized approach. Hope you have understood the concept of MBO. We will see you in the next video.